The human brain is a mess. That's the scientific consensus among our research team, anyway. A squishy, electricity-conducting blob of tissue that somehow produces consciousness, creativity, and an alarming tendency to enjoy videos of small animals falling over. Another anomaly in the theta wave patterns, said Vex, her 6 appendages flying across the monitoring station controls. Subject 34 is exhibiting dream sequences that contradict our established models. I sighed, my respiratory sacs deflating with a soft whistle. Again? That's the 3rd one tonight. My name is Trell, Senior Xenoneurologist of the Galactic Science Consortium's Earth Observation Post. We have been monitoring humans for 73 cycles, and I still don't understand how their primitive neural architecture manages to create such complex dreamscapes. You know what the problem is, don't you? Asked Morrow, not looking up from his analysis terminal. We are trying to apply logical frameworks to the most illogical species in the known universe. Morrow was our resident skeptic. Where most of our species approached new discoveries with excitement, Morrow approached them with suspicion bordering on contempt. His skin constantly flickered between shades of irritated amber and dismissive blue. They survived this long for a reason, I reminded him. Their adaptability. Their dumb luck, Morrow interrupted, has allowed them to thrive despite significant evolutionary disadvantages. Vex's attention appendage swiveled toward us. Speaking of evolutionary disadvantages, can we focus? Subject 34's rapid eye movement has increased by 47%. The dream intensity readings are off the charts. I moved to her station, fascinated by the neural activity display. The human subject, a middle-aged female named Anna Parker, was deep in REM sleep, her brain lighting up like a cosmic storm. Her dreams were unusual, even by human standards. What's she dreaming about? I asked. X manipulated the visualization controls. She's in a building with endless corridors, standard anxiety architecture. But there's something else, a presence following her, not quite corporeal. Another nightmare? Morrow asked, finally showing interest. No, Vex replied, her voice dropping to a puzzled whisper. She's not afraid of it. She's waiting for it. The observation chamber fell silent as we watched the dream unfold in abstract representation on our monitors. Anna Parker walked through corridor after corridor, occasionally looking over her shoulder, but not in fear. In anticipation. Humans, Morrow muttered. Who looks forward to being stalked? Someone who knows the stalker, I suggested. Vex suddenly stiffened, her appendages freezing mid-motion. The presence, it's changing. It's becoming more defined. On the monitor, a shape began to coalesce behind Anna Parker. Something tall, with too many limbs, moving in a way that defied human physiology. That's Morrow started, his skin blanching to stark white. That's one of us, I finished, feeling my cardiac chambers contract painfully. The figure in Anna Parker's dream had the unmistakable physiology of our species. 6 limbs, elongated cranium, translucent epidermis revealing the pulsing organs beneath. But its face was wrong, distorted, hungry. How is this possible? Vex whispered. We have maintained strict observational protocols. No direct contact, no dream insertion. She shouldn't even know we exist, let alone what we look like. Anna Parker turned in her dream and faced the creature. She smiled. Not the reaction we expected. Hello again, her dream self said. I have been waiting for you. The creature, the thing that looked like one of us, tilted its head at an impossible angle. When it spoke, its voice came through our translation systems as a series of discordant tones that made my auditory receptors ache. You should run now, it said. It's more fun when you run. Anna Parker's smile widened. Not tonight. Tonight, I want to see what happens if I don't. Morrow backed away from the monitor. Terminate the observation. Mao. You owl. We can't, Vex argued. This is unprecedented data. She's somehow manifested knowledge of. That's not one of us, Morrow insisted, his voice rising to an uncharacteristic pitch. Not exactly. Look at the proportions, the movement patterns. It's wrong. He was right. The longer I studied the creature in Anna Parker's dream, the more differences I noticed. Its limbs bent at angles our physiology wouldn't permit. Its skin was too transparent, revealing organs arranged in configurations that wouldn't support life. It's her approximation, I realized aloud. She's seen something like us before, and her brain is reconstructing it from memory. Impossible, Vex said. The containment protocols have failed, Morrow finished grimly. We need to report this to Central Command immediately. I was about to agree when Anna Parker did something unexpected. She stepped toward the creature, her dream self-radiating not fear but curiosity. She reached out one hand. "What are you, really?" she asked. The creature's form rippled, like water disturbed by a stone. "What do you want me to be?" "The truth," Anna Parker answered. The creature laughed, a sound like glass breaking. Humans, always wanting what will hurt them most. It began to change, its form expanding, darkening, filling the dream corridor from floor to ceiling. Anna Parker didn't move, didn't run. She stood her ground as the darkness enveloped her. And then she woke up. The monitors flatlined momentarily as her consciousness shifted states, then settled into the familiar patterns of wakefulness. Anna Parker sat up in bed, looked directly at the ceiling corner where one of our monitoring devices was hidden, and smiled. "Good morning," she said to empty air. "Hope you enjoyed the show." Morrow's skin had gone from white to ashen gray. "She knows." "Bleh, impossible," Vex insisted, but her voice lacked conviction. I stared at the monitor, at Anna Parker going about her morning routine as if nothing unusual had happened. "Check the other subjects," I ordered. "I want to know if this is an isolated incident." It wasn't. Over the next 48 hours, we discovered 17 instances of human subjects dreaming about creatures that resembled our species. Some fled from these dream apparitions. Others confronted them. A few, like Anna Parker, seemed almost friendly with them. "This is a catastrophic breach of protocol," Central Command's representative informed us during our emergency communication. Science Director Fahn's holographic form flickered with poorly concealed rage. "How did multiple humans become aware of our presence?" "We don't believe they are aware of us specifically," I explained. "The dream manifestations only vaguely resemble our physiological structure. They could be coincidental constructions, and 17 coincidences." Fahn's tone dripped with skepticism. "Humans have been depicting aliens in their entertainment media for decades," Vex offered. "These dream constructs could be influenced by those images rather than actual observation of our presence." Fahn's upper appendages twitched in irritation. "And the subject who spoke directly to a monitoring device?" None of us had a good answer for that. "The project is compromised," Fahn declared. "I'm ordering immediate withdrawal. Collect essential data, remove all monitoring equipment, and prepare for extraction." "But Director," I protested, "we are on the verge of a breakthrough in understanding human dream state consciousness. If we could just—" "Your team's failure to maintain observational integrity has jeopardized decades of research," Fahn interrupted. "The decision is final. Extraction team will arrive within 12 hours. Prepare accordingly." The communication ended, leaving us in stunned silence. "Well," Morrow said after a moment, "at least we get to leave this miserable planet." Jeff's appendages drooped in disappointment. 73 cycles of work, wasted. I wasn't ready to give up. "We have 12 hours. Let's make them count." "What do you mean?" Morrow asked suspiciously. "I mean, we gather as much data as possible before extraction, particularly from subjects exhibiting awareness in their dreamscapes." "You want to intentionally observe the humans who might be aware of us?" Morrow's skin flushed with alarm. "That's exactly what got us recalled in the first place." "We are already being extracted," I reasoned. "What's the worst that could happen?" Looking back, I wish someone had answered that question properly. We focused our remaining observation time on Anna Parker and 5 other subjects who had demonstrated unusual dream patterns. Our plan was simple: record their dreams during one more sleep cycle, analyze the data, and hope for insights we could salvage from this failed mission. Anna Parker went to bed at her usual time, 23:17 local hours. She fell asleep quickly, and REM state began approximately 47 minutes later. "She's dreaming again," Vex announced. Similar architecture to previous observations: corridors, doors, liminal spaces. "Is our friend there?" Morrow asked, not bothering to hide his unease. And Vex manipulated the visualization. "Not yet. She's alone, but she's leaving something behind as she walks." On the monitor, Anna Parker moved through the dream corridors, but now each step left a glowing footprint, like breadcrumbs in one of their fairy tales. "She's creating a trail," I observed. "For what?" Morrow asked. The answer came quickly. A new presence entered the dream, moving along the trail of footprints. Not the creature from before, but something else. Something human-shaped but wrong, like a person with pieces missing or rearranged. "What is that supposed to be?" Vex wondered. The figure followed Anna's trail, gaining speed, its movements becoming more urgent, more predatory. Anna seemed unaware, continuing her calm walk through the endless corridors. "She doesn't know it's there," Morrow said, his voice tight. "Why isn't she running?" "Because it's not chasing her," I realized suddenly. "It's running from something else." As if on cue, another presence entered the dream. This one was familiar, the creature that resembled our species, but distorted and wrong. It moved with terrible purpose, gaining on the human-shaped entity. "She's dreaming about a hunt," Vex whispered, fascinated despite herself. The human-shaped figure sensed the creature behind it and tried to run faster, its movements becoming frantic. Anna Parker continued walking calmly ahead, leaving her glowing footprints, seemingly oblivious to the drama unfolding behind her. The creature caught up to the human-shaped figure, enveloping it in limbs that shouldn't bend the way they did. The figure struggled, its form distorting further as the creature began to absorb it, for lack of a better term. "This is," Morrow trailed off, his skin cycling through colors of distress. "Fascinating," I finished, unable to look away. The creature finished consuming the human-shaped figure and continued along the trail of footprints, toward Anna Parker, who still walked unaware. Or so we thought. Just as the creature was about to reach her, Anna stopped and turned around. She didn't look surprised or afraid. She looked satisfied. "Found you," she said. The creature hesitated, an action I wouldn't have thought possible for a dream construct. "You knew I was here." "I made the path for you," Anna replied. "I wanted to see what you would do." "Why?" the creature asked. Anna Parker smiled, an expression that somehow seemed wrong on her face. "Too wide. Too knowing. Because I wanted to learn about you the way you have been learning about me." A chill ran through my circulatory system. This wasn't just uncanny coincidence anymore. This was direct acknowledgement. "How much does she know?" Vex whispered. The creature in the dream shifted, its form becoming more like ours, more accurate. Disturbingly accurate. "What do you think you know, human?" Anna's smile didn't waver. "I know you are watching. I know you are listening. I know you are learning. And now I'm learning too." She took a step toward the creature, and to our shock, the creature retreated. "You shouldn't be able to do this," it said. "Your kind doesn't have the capability." "Maybe we didn't," Anna agreed. "But we are quick studies. And you have been teaching us, whether you meant to or not." The creature's form destabilized further, becoming less solid, more shadow than substance. "You don't understand what you are doing." "Then explain it to me," Anna challenged. "Or better yet, let me show you what I have learned." She raised her hand, and the dream corridor around them began to change. The walls melted away, revealing a vast space filled with stars, but not the stars of Earth's night sky. These were arranged in constellations no human should recognize, the constellations of our home system. That's not possible, Morrow whispered, his voice breaking. She can't know that. The creature in the dream seemed equally disturbed. How did you see this place? Anna Parker's expression was triumphant. I didn't. You showed me. Every time you entered my dreams, you brought pieces of yourself, pieces of your memories, your knowledge, your home. She gestured at the star field around them. Beautiful, isn't it? I especially like the third planet from the binary stars. The one with the ring of research stations orbiting it. Vex made a choking sound. She's describing Central Science Hub. That's classified information. The creature in the dream began to disintegrate, pieces of it breaking off like ash in wind. This connection goes both ways, it warned. What flows one direction can flow the other. I'm counting on it, Anna Parker replied. And then she did something none of us expected. She reached out and grabbed the creature, pulling it toward her. Instead of resisting, the creature flowed into her, through her, becoming part of her. Anna Parker's dream form changed, grew taller, developed extra limbs, a hybrid of human and our species. She looked at her new form with evident satisfaction. Perfect, she said. Then she looked up, not at the dream stars, but beyond them. Directly at us, it seemed. Her gaze penetrated the visualization, the monitoring systems, the barriers between her sleeping mind and our observation post. See you soon, she said. And the monitoring systems exploded in a cascade of electrical failures. Emergency protocols engaged instantly, sealing the observation chamber and initiating data preservation sequences. Backup systems came online as the primary systems failed one after another. What's happening? Vex cried, her appendages working frantically to stabilize the systems. A massive feedback loop in the neural interfaces, I reported, checking the diagnostic panels. It's like something pushed back through the connection. Morrow was already at the communication terminal. We need to accelerate extraction. Now. But the communication systems were down. All systems were failing, in fact, in a cascade that shouldn't have been possible given our redundancies. The other subjects, I suddenly remembered, checked their status. Vex managed to bring up emergency displays for our other 5 primary subjects. All of them were awake now. All of them sitting up in their beds, all of them looking directly at our hidden monitoring devices. All of them smiling. They know, Morrow whispered. They all know. But how? Vex demanded. The dream monitoring is passive. There's no way for them to detect it, let alone push back through it. I stared at the emergency displays, at 6 humans in 6 different locations, all seemingly aware of us, all seemingly waiting for something. We need to leave, I decided. Now, without waiting for the extraction team. That's against all protocols, Vex objected. Protocols are meaningless if we are in danger, I countered. And I think we are in very serious danger. Morrow was already heading for the emergency evacuation chamber. For once, I agree with Trell. This mission is compromised beyond recovery. Vex hesitated only a moment longer before following us. We made our way through the observation post toward the evacuation pods, the facility's systems continuing to fail around us. Lights flickered. Atmospheric controls sputtered. Even the artificial gravity became unreliable. We reached the evacuation chamber just as the general power failed completely. Emergency lighting bathed everything in eerie blue. 3 pods. 3 of us, Morrow said, his voice steady despite his skin cycling through fear patterns. Launch as soon as systems are primed. We each entered a pod, the automated systems beginning launch preparations despite the facility-wide failures. And my pod's interface illuminated with the comforting glow of functioning technology. Launching in 30 seconds, the automated system announced, 29. 28. I established communication with Vex and Morrow's pods. Rendezvous at emergency coordinates Alpha 9. The extraction team will find us there. Acknowledged, they both responded. 15 seconds to launch, the system continued. 14. 13. Something banged against the exterior of the facility. Something big. "What was that?" Vex asked, her voice tight with fear. "Doesn't matter," Morrow replied. "We are leaving. 5 seconds. 4. 3. Another bang, louder this time. The facility shuddered. 2. 1. The evacuation pods launched, blasting away from the doomed observation post, away from Earth, away from the humans who somehow knew too much. I watched through my pod's viewport as the observation post receded into the distance, a dark silhouette against the blue-green backdrop of Earth. For a moment I thought I saw something moving across its surface, something with too many limbs, something that shouldn't exist outside of human nightmares. Then I fell asleep. I shouldn't have. The evacuation pods are designed to keep occupants conscious. But darkness claimed me nonetheless, dragging me into unexpected dreams. And in those dreams, Anna Parker was waiting for me. "Hello, Trell," she said, her smile too wide, her eyes too knowing. "I have been looking forward to meeting you properly." Behind her stood 5 other humans, our other primary subjects, all watching me with the same hungry expression. "How do you know my name?" I asked, dream voice shaking. Anna Parker's form shifted, grew, changed, becoming the hybrid creature from her earlier dream. "I told you. The connection goes both ways." She reached for me with too many hands. "Now," she said, "let me show you what it's like to be the one who's studied." And the real nightmare began. Dreams aren't supposed to hurt. That was my first coherent thought as Anna Parker's many-limbed form reached for me. My second thought was considerably less scientific. Run. I fled through shifting dreamscapes that made no logical sense. Corridors became forests, became vast oceanic abysses. The laws of physics bent and broke around me as I desperately tried to escape the pursuing humans. "You can't outrun us in here, Trell," Anna's voice echoed from everywhere and nowhere. "This is our domain now." "How is this possible?" I gasped, my dream form struggling to maintain cohesion as terror threatened to fragment my consciousness. "Dream monitoring is passive observation only." Laughter rippled through the dreamscape, coming from all 6 humans simultaneously. The sound resonated at frequencies that shouldn't exist, vibrating through my very essence. "You really believe that?" Another human stepped forward. A tall male with dark skin and piercing eyes. Subject 17. "Bernard Okafor, according to our files. You think you can peer into the deepest recesses of consciousness without leaving footprints?" The dreamscape shifted again, transforming into what appeared to be a laboratory. Our laboratory, but wrong. Distorted through human perception. The monitoring equipment loomed monstrous and predatory, cables writhing like tentacles. "Every time you watched us dream," Anna explained, her hybrid form circling me with unsettling grace, "you left traces." Echoes. At first they were too faint to notice. "But we are sensitive," added another subject, a petite female with short auburn hair. Mariko Tanaka, subject 42. "Some more than others." We started to feel the whispers at the edges of our dreams. "Then we started to listen," Bernard said. "And eventually we learned to whisper back." I tried to wake myself, tried to force my consciousness to return to my evacuation pod. Nothing happened. The dreamscape held me firmly in its grasp. "That won't work," Anna said, amused. "You are ours now, just as we were yours." "What do you want?" I demanded, trying to sound authoritative despite my terror. The 6 humans exchanged glances, a silent communication passing between them that I couldn't interpret. "Understanding," Anna finally answered. "Knowledge. The same things you wanted from us." "We just observed," I protested. "We never interfered." Bernard laughed, a harsh sound like stones grinding together. "The act of observation is interference. Didn't your scientists figure that out centuries ago? The observer effect. You can't watch something without changing it." The dreamscape shifted again, becoming a vast amphitheater. I stood in the center while the 6 humans looked down at me from tiered seating, like specimens examining a particularly interesting bacterium. For decades, your kind has been studying human dreams, Anna said, her voice echoing through the vast space, cataloging our fears, our desires, our unconscious minds. Did you ever wonder why? Scientific research, I answered automatically. Understanding alien psychology is fundamental to. Liar, interrupted Mariko. Your consortium doesn't care about understanding for its own sake. They want to use that understanding. I would have protested, but the truth stopped me. She wasn't entirely wrong. The consortium's interest in human dream states had always been partly strategic. Humans were unpredictable, dangerous in their irrationality. Understanding their unconscious minds was considered essential for predicting their behavior, managing potential threats. You see? Anna said softly. We can feel your thoughts here, Trell. Your knowledge flows to us, just as ours flows to you. Horror washed through me as I realized the implications. If they could access my knowledge, then they could learn about our technology, our defenses, our vulnerabilities. Too late for that concern, Bernard said, responding to my unspoken fear. We have been absorbing your knowledge for months now. Slowly at first, just fragments. But accelerating. We had to be careful, explained another subject, an older male with silver hair. Thomas Hayes, subject 29. Move too quickly, and your monitoring systems would detect the anomaly. But now, Anna continued, we don't need to be careful anymore. The amphitheater dissolved, replaced by an infinite white void. In the distance, I could see 2 other figures struggling against unseen restraints. Vex and Morrow, trapped in their own nightmares. Your colleagues are having similar conversations, Anna informed me. Though they are not being quite as cooperative as you. I could hear Morrow's distant screams, see Vex's form contorting in what appeared to be agony. Stop, I pleaded. You are hurting them. They are hurting themselves, Thomas corrected. Fighting the inevitable only makes this more painful. I forced myself to remain calm, to think like the scientist I was rather than the terrified prey I felt like. What is the inevitable exactly? What's happening to us? Anna approached me, her hybrid form shifting to appear more like her human self, perhaps attempting to seem less threatening. Evolution, Trell, adaptation. Isn't that what fascinates you about humans? Our adaptability. You have been watching our dreams for 73 cycles, Bernard added. Did you really think we wouldn't eventually start watching back? A terrible suspicion began forming in my mind. The dream monitoring. It created some kind of connection? Give the alien a prize, Mariko said with biting sarcasm. Your monitoring technology creates a quantum neural link. Very sophisticated. Very subtle. But not one way as you assumed, Thomas finished. Just very asymmetrical. Until we learn to strengthen our side of the connection. Anna smiled. That too wide expression that didn't belong on a human face. And now the connection is complete. The bridge is built, and we are coming across. The white void around us pulsed, like a heartbeat. With each pulse, the humans seemed to become more solid, more real within the dreamscape, while I felt myself becoming less substantial. What are you doing to me? I gasped, watching with horror as my limbs began to lose definition, becoming transparent. Taking what we need, Anna replied matter-of-factly. Your knowledge. Your memories, your understanding of the universe beyond our planet. You are consuming me? The concept was so alien, so horrifying that I could barely form the thought. Not exactly, Bernard said. Think of it as uploading your consciousness into ours. We can't physically leave our planet yet, Mariko explained. But our minds can travel through the connections you so helpfully established. And once we have absorbed enough knowledge, Thomas continued, we will know how to build the technology we need to reach the stars ourselves. Another pulse rocked the dreamscape. More of my substance seemed to flow away, absorbed by the 6 humans. They were growing stronger, their forms becoming more defined, incorporating aspects of my species' appearance into their dream selves. Why? I managed to ask. Why do this? Anna approached me, now towering over my diminishing form. Because you gave us no choice. Your consortium planned to study us until you understood us completely, then decide our fate. Quarantine or controlled integration into the galactic community. Did you think we would simply wait for your verdict? I couldn't deny it. Those were indeed the consortium's long-term plans for humanity. So instead you will what? Steal our knowledge and use it against us? The irony wasn't lost on me, even in my terror. Not against you, necessarily, Bernard said. We just want what every species wants. Survival. Growth. Freedom to determine our own path. And if that path conflicts with yours? I challenged. The 6 humans exchanged glances again. Then we will be prepared, Anna said simply. Another pulse, stronger than before. I felt more of myself torn away, my memories, knowledge, and experiences flowing into the human dreamers. Fragments of my consciousness scattered and were absorbed. Stop, I begged. You don't understand what you are doing. The feedback loop, it's dangerous. It could destroy both our minds. A risk we are willing to take, Thomas said. We have prepared for this moment for months, strengthening our mental barriers, practicing dream control techniques. Your species, on the other hand, Mariko added with a cold smile, never considered you might need to defend yourselves in the dream state. You thought you were the only ones with access to the connection. The dreamscape pulsed again, and I screamed as I felt my identity beginning to fragment. My memories were being pulled in 6 different directions, each human taking pieces of me. In desperation, I tried a different approach. If you destroy us, the consortium will know something went wrong. They will send others. We are counting on it, Anna replied. By then, we will be ready for them. Thanks to what we learned from you. I could feel myself coming apart, my consciousness fragmenting. In the distance, Vex had stopped struggling and now hung limp in the void, her form almost completely transparent. Moro was still fighting, still screaming, but his resistance was clearly weakening. There's another option, I said frantically. Cooperation. Alliance. We could help each other. Anna paused, actually seeming to consider my words. An interesting proposal. But why would we trust you now? Your kind has been studying us like lab specimens for decades. And you are different? I challenged. What are you doing to us right now? That seemed to strike a chord. The humans exchanged glances again, some unspoken communication passing between them. He has a point, Bernard admitted reluctantly. It doesn't matter, Mariko argued. We need what they know. We need it to protect ourselves. But if we take it this way, Thomas said slowly, are we any better than what we fear they might be? The dreamscape trembled, uncertainty rippling through it. I sensed conflict among the humans, division in their unified front. You don't have to destroy us to learn from us, I pressed, sensing an opportunity. The neural link works both ways, you have proven that. We could exchange knowledge, form a true connection. A connection controlled by whom? Anna asked skeptically. Your consortium. The same organization that planned to judge our entire species worthy or unworthy of galactic inclusion? Not the consortium, I said. Just us. You 6 and my team. A direct link, without interference. Another pulse rocked the dreamscape, but it felt different this time. Less destructive, more questioning. I could feel the humans probing my thoughts, testing my sincerity. He believes what he's saying, Bernard observed, sounding surprised. Of course he does, Mariko snapped. He's desperate. Yes, I admitted. I am desperate. But that doesn't make me wrong. Anna studied me, her hybrid form shifting constantly as if she couldn't decide which appearance to maintain. You are afraid of us, she said finally. Not just for yourself, but for your entire civilization. You think we are dangerous. All intelligent species are dangerous to each other, I replied honestly. Difference breeds fear. Fear breeds conflict. Unless understanding bridges the gap, Thomas mused. Exactly, I agreed. That was the original purpose of our research, not control. Understanding. The dreamscape pulsed again, gentler this time. I felt some of my substance return, my form becoming slightly more defined. So what are you proposing exactly? Anna asked. Nope. A controlled exchange, I suggested. Not this forced absorption. Something mutual, respectful. How do we know the consortium would agree to this? Bernard questioned. They have already ordered your extraction. They don't need to know immediately, I said, the plan forming as I spoke. We have time before the extraction team arrives. Time to establish a foundation to prove the value of cooperation over conquest. The humans conferred silently again. I could feel their thoughts brushing against mine, testing, probing, considering. It's still risky, Mariko said finally. For both sides. Less risky than the alternative, I countered. If you destroy us, the consortium will eventually discover what happened. They will consider humanity a threat that must be contained or eliminated. And if we cooperate, Thomas asked, then we show them a new possibility, one they haven't considered. Anna stepped forward, her form now stabilized as a perfect blend of human and my species. You are asking us to trust you. After decades of secret observation. Yes, I admitted. Just as I'm trusting you not to tear my consciousness apart right now, when I'm completely at your mercy. Another long silence filled the dreamscape. I could sense the humans communicating among themselves on levels I couldn't access. Finally, Anna spoke again. We will try it your way, she decided. The controlled exchange. But we maintain the advantage here in the dream space. If we sense betrayal, deception. You won't, I promised. The dreamscape shifted again, transforming into a circular chamber with a table at its center. 7 chairs surrounded it, 6 for the humans, 1 for me. Your colleagues stay contained for now, Anna said, gesturing to where Vex and Moro still floated in the distance, until we are confident in this arrangement. I nodded, understanding their caution. That's reasonable. We moved to the table, this strange council of different species meeting in a shared dream. As we sat, I felt the nature of the connection changing, becoming more structured, more balanced. I could still sense the humans drawing knowledge from me, but it was no longer the violent tearing I'd experienced before. Now it was more like conversation, ear exchange. So, Anna said, resting her hybrid arms on the table, let's begin with the fundamentals. Tell us about the consortium. The complete truth this time. So I did. I shared the history of our galactic civilization, the structure of the consortium, the real reasons behind their interest in Earth. In return, the humans shared their perspectives, their fears, their hopes for their species' future among the stars. Hours passed in the dreamscape, though I knew only minutes were passing in the real world. We talked, argued, shared, compromised. Gradually, I felt Vex and Moro being drawn into the exchange, their terror giving way to cautious participation. This could actually work, Bernard said eventually, sounding surprised. A genuine partnership. If the consortium agrees, Mariko reminded him, still skeptical. They will follow the evidence, I assured her. And we will provide plenty of evidence that cooperation yields better results than subjugation. Anna looked at me, her expression unreadable. You have changed your mind about us, haven't you? Since this began? I considered the question carefully. Yes, I admitted. I used to think humans were fascinating but dangerous, unpredictable. Now I see that unpredictability as your greatest strength. You find solutions others would never consider. Like hijacking your dream monitoring technology and turning it into a two-way street? Thomas asked with a hint of pride. Exactly like that, I agreed. No species in the consortium would have attempted such a thing, let alone succeeded. So what happens now? Anna asked. When we all wake up? I looked around the table at these humans who had nearly destroyed me and my colleagues, who had instead chosen conversation over conquest. And now we begin the real work, building a bridge between our worlds that benefits both. And if the consortium rejects this approach? Mariko pressed. I met her gaze steadily. Then we will find another way. Together. Oh. The dreamscape began to fade around us, reality tugging at our consciousness. Time to wake up, Anna said. See you on the other side, Trell. As the dream dissolved, I felt something I hadn't expected, hope. The connection between our species had begun as an invasion, a violation. But perhaps it could become something more, something revolutionary. I opened my eyes to the interior of my evacuation pod, its systems alerting me to an incoming transmission. Diary from Earth. This is Senior Xeneurologist Trell, I responded, my voice steady despite everything I'd experienced. Go ahead. Hello again, came Anna Parker's voice, somehow transmitting directly to my pod. Ready to change the universe? Despite everything, I found myself smiling. Absolutely. Behind her voice, I could hear the extraction team's ships approaching in the distance. They expected to find 3 terrified researchers fleeing a compromised mission. Instead, they would find the beginning of a new kind of contact, one that neither humans nor the consortium had ever imagined possible. One dreamed into existence by 6 humans who refused to be merely observed, who chose instead to observe back, and in doing so changed everything.